If you've been in therapy for years and you're still feeling stuck, it's time for something more. Because going to therapy isn't enough to start living the life that you really want. Yeah, I said it. Because if you're feeling like you keep spinning your wheels on the same old stories and that you're focusing more on what happened in the past than what you want to be happening in the future, it's time for something more. Now, don't get me wrong, therapy is very important. It can help you unpack your past, understand your pattern, and heal unresolved pain. So you can think of therapy kind of like physical therapy. It helps get you moving again after some traumatic shit happened to you, which, it happens. But when you want to metaphorically build some muscle in your life, you don't go to a physical therapist. You go to a coach. Oh, and hey, I'm Joelle, and I'm a life coach who works with butches who are ready for things to really change in their lives. Because I'm tired of seeing people like you who have been doing this inner healing work, often for years, and you still feel like you're stuck, like you're not making momentum in the direction that you want to be moving in. I talk to so many butches who feel like they're still waiting for their lives to really start. And you're doing your best. You're showing up to therapy every week like you're supposed to, You process, you talk about what came up for you in the past week and maybe how that's connected to stuff like deeper in your past. But deep down, you know that that's not really moving you forward. Because therapy can help you understand why you are the way you are. In fact, I bet you're very aware, very self-aware of what your challenges are at this point. But that self-awareness doesn't necessarily translate into actually making changes to become more of who you want to be. Endless self-analysis and looking backward, it's not going to get you where you want to go. At some point, you have to start looking ahead to who you really want to become. And you can think of it this way. Like physical therapy helps you heal from past injuries. And that's really important because it does help you function at basic levels. But no one goes to physical therapy to get ripped. You don't go to a physical therapist if you want to get jacked. Therapy gets you strong enough to be able to take the next step for yourself. But once you're taking those steps, deciding where you want to go and how you want to get there is a whole different story. And that's where coaching comes in, to support you to focus on who you really want to become in this life and to guide you with clear and practical steps to get you there. In coaching, we work with what you've already healed and help you start to flex those metaphorical muscles in your life. And if you're like, I don't know, I'm not done healing. That's okay. You never will be. It's never all the way done. But if you're watching this video, I bet you have done a lot more healing work than you actually give yourself credit for. Because when you do this work, you wake up in the morning feeling excited about who you're becoming. You notice that your days feel more like yours. And at night, when it's time to wind down, you feel peaceful and content in ways that you didn't used to feel that way. It's possible for you. It's possible for you to feel like the inner work that you've been doing is actually getting reflected in the outer world of your experience, of your life. But why the heck should you listen to me anyway? Well, for one thing, I have done so many different kinds of therapies myself. So many. I say all of this because I've been there myself. I have done all kinds of stuff, from talk therapy with a therapist every week, to drinking ayahuasca, to reading dozens of self-help books, to doing somatic work, internal family systems, family constellations, sound healing, cacao ceremonies, EFT tapping, hypnosis, coffee colonics, being in silence for extended periods of time, being in complete darkness for extended periods of time, energy work of just any kind you could imagine and more. And I could go on and on with the list, but it starts to get a little absurd. You get the point. And while I'll say that stuff did mostly help me, although I could have done without the coffee colonics, that was not my fave. Stuff mostly helped, but I still found myself stuck in so many of the same cycles, the same patterns. And at some point, I realized I had been so focused on fixing myself that I wasn't actually putting energy into how I want to be living my life and the steps for me to take to actually start living my life in those ways. And that was really a turning point for me, because working on your past stuff is an important first part of your journey. But the next part of the journey is taking all of this insight that you've gotten about yourself and putting it into action to create your life to be more in alignment with how you actually want it to be. And that's what the coaching I do with Butch Yoga is about. I've worked with hundreds of Butches at this point to help them move from being stuck in processing the past to building a more meaningful future, starting now. And if you want that for yourself, click the link in the description and schedule a free call with me. I'll help you get more clear on the direction that you really want to be moving in with practical steps to help you get there in 30 minutes. We can have a little 30-minute convo. It'll be cool. So go to the link in the description, book a call, and we'll talk soon.